This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cage Side Press here at BlackHouse MMA with Miguel Jacob, one of the fighters here at the gym. Miguel, so we've seen you obviously places, OC Fight Club and others. Talk to me, how did you get started in MMA?
So I grew up fighting kickboxing, in Brazil and around the world. And I always wanted to move for MMA, so that's why I moved out here for the U.S. for BlackHouse about 3 years ago. And that's how everything started. And like fighting is pretty big in Brazil. So you grew up like either you play soccer or you fight, you know what I mean, in the sports. And my father was a huge fan of fighting, so and that's how I started.
Now, talk about making that transition because we've heard, you're obviously not the first fighter to come to the United States for training for MMA. What was that adjustment like to leave Brazil and come to the US and just make MMA your focus for your life?
Man, isn't easy, I can't say it easy because there's a lot of difference, a lot of culture different, but it pays off, you know what I mean? I love being over here, able to train with the best, you're surrounded by great coaches, a lot of good training partners as well. Especially here at BlackHouse, sometimes you have the chance to train with people that are your idols, you know what I mean? So like Anderson, Lyoto, and all of them, so it paid off, It was very good moving out here. The beginning was a little hard, being far from my family and all this stuff, but you kind of get used to, and well, very happy with everything, that I've been living over here.
Now, talk to me about the BlackHouse. So you talked about, you have guys like Anderson, Lyoto Machida, who are obviously big names in the sport of MMA. Is that what brought you to want to train at BlackHouse, or how did it, because there's a lot of gyms, what made you specifically want to be here?
So when I was young, I met George. I was already fighting kickboxing in Brazil. George is one of the owners. One of the managers here at BlackHouse, and that's how I ended up coming over here. We talked when I was in Brazil. I came to try it out first at 2014. Came back to Brazil, then I moved in 2016. I was about 17, 18 years old. So I thought it was a perfect time to start my MMA career over here, and doing pretty good so far, I did 2 amateur fights, and then now I'm pro, I'm 3-0 as a pro, undefeated, so looking forward for the next one.
Awesome. So obviously you're getting started in your career, but when you come from Brazil, which is such a big, fight country and everything else, what's the biggest difference you would say fighting in America compared to the fights you had, amateur or otherwise, in Brazil?
Man, I would say here in America, things are a little bit more organized, you know what I mean? So like in Brazil, I think they're still lacking with organization, you know what I mean? Like they don't have as many shows. But in Brazil, you get, tough fights anywhere, you know what I mean? You can get tough fights in Brazil anywhere, everybody's tough because fighting's so big out there, you know what I mean? Like not, same as over here, we have tough fights everywhere, but I think fighting is inside or hard, being Brazilian, and yeah, that's for me, that's the only thing that I noticed is that even the amateurs over here in the US, they are treated with like as a pros, you know what I'm saying? They are treated very well. That's something that we don't have in Brazil, for sure.
Are the fans louder in Brazil?
Yes, they are, man. They cheer like it was soccer, like they go crazy, and that's just awesome.
And it doesn't matter, not UFC or smaller, they're loud no matter what.
They just go crazy, man. If you punch, it's like scoring a goal, scoring a point, and I love that. That vibe it's something that you get addicted to once you felt,
Well, so you talked about it, you're moving up obviously in your career, local here in Southern California. If you could plan out the next few years of your career, how would it grow?
I would say like make it big probably on the next year, on the following one, sign something big. My goal is to be on the UFC around 2021. I'm 22 years old, so I think maybe next year I'll still make some local fights, get more experience in 2021. Go for UFC, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, Miguel, best of luck. We look forward to hearing more from you throughout your career, and thank you for giving us the time and just showing us a little bit around BlackHouse today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your support, for showing a little bit of my story, and looking forward for the next one. Hopefully with better good news. Thank you.